Welcome, Cancer. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I am doing a full moon in Scorpio reading for you, active on the 2nd of May. Also, at this very moment, Uranus is moving into Gemini, and Venus just did. This is a few days before the full moon. So, this is really impacting you in a very creative way. It's bringing an impact to friends, projects, pleasure, also children or grandchildren, depending on where you are in life. Those children or grandchildren can at times be the creative products you make. So think of children as brainchilds, for instance. And this is all attending to a place where we create, we procreate, we recreate. Um, so this is very critical for the entire planet, the movement of these planets together. Venus is softening the experience of radical change, radical communication. Sometimes the truth can hurt, but with Venus kind of mollifying Uranus's energy, we are more careful, more diplomatic in the way we share our truth, which is not always pretty, which is not always simple. It can be messy and complex. So for the energy archaeology, I pulled for you the resonance card, and I'll read a little bit from the wisdom. Resonance is both embodied wisdom and a doorway through which you can travel deeper. Your core energetic resonance is your primary guide to your highest truth. This is the resonance you feel in your bones and your soul. Foundational level beliefs, gifts, and wounds come up for you to heal, transmute, and integrate, bringing you further into alignment with this version of yourself. And the key word to this card is flowing. I love the incredible snake that curls around the spinal column and is very suggestive of Kundalini, a process through which we can have a fuller self-realization and thus self-actualization, higher wisdom, divine wisdom. And from the Glyph Oracle, I pulled the number 1 card. This is the card in the Tarot of the Magician. This is New Moon and Beginnings. What I love about the lunations and why I use them is a way of adjusting our very linear approach to life as instead cyclical. We change constantly, and each month seems like a convenient time, particularly as a woman, where we experience a full cycle of beginning and release. And this is important because the idea that we always have new opportunities for growth is one that can be challenging to accept, to understand, to actually see in your environment. So I feel like you are setting some pretty clear intentions, and these intentions have been thoroughly vetted by a lifetime of experience where you are fairly clear that about what you want, what you desire. In the present, we have 2 cards, the 4 of Jades and the 5 of Cups. This is telling me that you have created such a positive sense of pleasure, what feels good, what supports you, what sees you. You have so thoroughly established that as not only a feature of your life, but a practice of choosing and moving towards things that see and value you, that you want to hold on to this feeling. You are trying to hold on to this feeling as part of your foundation, part of your physical foundation, this ability to see a way through any opportunity, any challenge, understanding that it is a process of identifying the reality of an environment and the opportunities that that reality presents to us. Having learned to do that for yourself is such an incredible liberation that you recognize that this is part of the accomplishment of your life at this time, to understand what supports you and to support those things back, to move away from what doesn't feel good. It sounds so simple, but we as human beings are have been in many ways conditioned to accept things that don't feel good and are not for us as the way it's supposed to be. So coming to a place where you have been practicing for some time and learning through a really deep healing process of self recognition, self knowledge, and honesty. What works for you? What gives you benefit? And we use our emotions to measure what is right for us, particularly you, Cancer, so incredibly intuitive and sensitive. When things don't feel right, it's almost cliche, but that's what we have been trained to fight against. That's not valid. That's not logical. Where's the evidence? The evidence is in our bodies, and it's based on experience. So it is evidence. This is powerful. In the past, the Two of Jades, I think you've been a little bit in a groove, a little bit in a rut, and you recognize that as comfortable as you are, you really want to challenge yourself. You really desire a routine that better fits you. This feels like your attempt to improve upon or challenge your habits and routines that have become just mechanical. They may not actually serve you. How is your eating adjusted to who you are now, what your needs are? Does your diet or exercise program, if you have one, support the energy levels that are necessary for you to sustain the projects, the activities that you care about? So this feels like a kind of thorough inventory, well-being inventory that you are engaging in or have been for a while. In the future, the Fool card and the Ace of Staffs. Wow. You know, it's interesting because it feels like a very comfortable, stable, secure pace to your life. And yet, at some level, you're building towards a very uh, internal revelatory liberation. It feels as though something is encouraging you to reach out, make contacts, pursue new ideas, perhaps become active in organizations or groups that are accomplishing or moving towards a goal that's important to you. And those connections, which are moving faster than ever for whatever reason, you are gaining a powerful sense of confidence and trust in yourself, in your decision making, in determining what is best for you. And that's giving you this power to engage fully without having to know what the destination will bring, but purely by the measure of your complete, wholehearted engagement, you know that you're on the right track, the right path for you. Cancer, if this reading is resonating for you, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, Pacific to Grow, and know that I appreciate your presence, your love, your support for what I do, and I'm honored, really. So I'm going to clarify the Two of Jades in the past with the Hermit card and the Devil card, and with the Six of Jades and the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles, and with the Fool card and the Eight of Staffs. I'm going to clarify with the Five of Wands and the Four of Wands. Five of Pentacles, I'm sorry, and the Five of Wands. So in the past, you've done a lot of soul searching. You have done a lot of readjusting to the loss of an authority figure, someone who was important to you, or readjusting your relationship to an authority figure in a way that has brought you into yourself, has had you leaning into your own authority. This feels like a process where you establish that the rules and conventions of others, their expectations for you, are not what drives you, are not what move you towards progress or a sense of satisfaction or completion. So it feels to me like you have gone on a very deep healing process in which you established yourself as precisely that, the authentic authority for what you do in this life. And you are more than willing to share that with others. For some of you, you are a model of that kind of activity, but you may be up against an opposing authority figure who never gives up on shaping, influencing you, pressuring you to move in a specific direction. So it feels like there is some pressure on you, or has been in the past, but you're resisting that very effortlessly by honoring your own innate wisdom. And the Four of Jades and the Nine of Cups, I want to put that on top, is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. This is lovely. You are creating some kind of legacy. You're taking your own good fortune and your own independence to determine what to do, how to translate, how to transmute some inheritance or largesse that you've received. This can be a skill. This can be an ancestral tradition. This can be a body of artifacts or photographs that you have. There's some way in which you're translating the access that you've had to abundance to the benefit of others, making that available to them or showing them how to gain that kind of access so that they too can generate their own abundance. And this is very much on your terms, on their terms. This is not about an external commercial or business criterion. This is what generates the abundance that allows you to reinvest in yourself. And that is because your allegiance is to a community, but within that community, you reserve the right to have your own private garden, to enjoy your resources, your excess wealth in the way that best suits you. So having this independence is what allows you to choose what's right for you without feeling compromised, without feeling the need to be pressured or to give in. You know what's right for you, and you're free to act on that in a way that generates abundance for yourself and others. In the future, the Fool and the Eight of Staffs is clarified by the Five of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. Here, I believe you have made or are making some fundamental change to your alliance with support. And it shows me that you've already determined and worked at adjusting the support that you now match yourself with. So you know what works for you, what sees you, what values you, and you attach yourself to those opportunities and relationships wherever you can. At a social level, that ability to translate your sense of abundance and self-authority, knowing what's best and what's right for you, has translated into your social world. so that you may be moving away from the places that used to support you. You may be choosing something different from the traditional social circles or institutions that once were defining to you. And in some ways, for some of you, your families as well. This is you being sort of a maverick, kind of busting out of jail in a way, simply because this isn't the picture that I'm seeing here. That's what I'm sensing in a way. But here, you're choosing a community that is collaborative. You're choosing a community that is not hierarchical, where everyone works together to honor the process of learning and growth and celebrating that. This can be a wedding for some of you, in the same way that a marriage can be a portal to the growth of a community, a family, and thus connections to a community, a region, a collective. So this is beautiful energy that is all about the joy of growth, learning, expanding, being of service to one another. And that's where you understand now your support lies. And I'm going to finish this with a flower oracle, and something is flipped over there, but I'm not going to. So what we have is the cyclamen, and the key word is resignation. Say goodbye to what you no longer need. Wow, that sounds so dramatic, doesn't it? Thank you so much, Cancer, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.